With the first Range Rover, Land Rover may have essentially created the luxury SUV market, but as time has passed, other automakers have grown accustomed to creating similar vehicles. Due to the crossover boom, automakers like Bentley and Rolls-Royce now produce vehicles like the Bentayga and Cullinan that are aimed at people who desire a posh high rider. Ferrari and Lamborghini's Purosangue and Urus are competing in the sporty sector, which helps put the popularity of crossovers into better perspective. Aston Martin takes a shot at them with the DBX 707, while companies like McLaren and Bugatti are debating if they also need to have such cars in their lineups. Toyota, on the other hand, is said to be interested in creating a more luxurious model despite having a long history of creating cars with many inches between their bellies and the road. They have the Century Limo, which is a highly well-liked vehicle in their native Japan, where it is targeted at the jet set. Although most purchasers these days prefer SUVs, this vehicle is not an SUV. However, if a new rumor is true, the Century SUV may be just around the corner. The renowned Century sedan, which is hand-built at Toyota Motor East Japan's Higashi Fuji plant and is considered to be the pinnacle of chauffeur-driven Japanese vehicles, is reportedly being developed as an SUV. According to a report, the future luxury model would be known simply as the Toyota Century SUV, and will have a hybrid drivetrain. We can see from the photographs that the front fascia of this future SUV generously borrows styling cues from its sedan namesake, according to a set of anticipated renderings for the Toyota Century SUV that have also been posted by the Japanese publication. The rectangular headlamps appear to have several LED components for that premium luxury design, whereas the wide primary grille has been adorned with chrome and is rather simple. The SUV has been depicted with Toyota badges, while the Century sedan actually has the company's own emblems, which is unusual. While the SUV's front bumper is more blunt and has a higher air inlet in the center, the sedan's relatively flat but chiseled hood appears to have also made its way into the SUV. A faux skid plate and rectangular fog lamps are added to the lower apron, which also appears to be devoid of chrome. The Century SUV will have a long hood if it is in fact modeled after the sedan, which will only serve to increase its intimidating factor. Although the renders show the Century SUV to have flat body panels along the sides, they also show a prominent shoulder line and wide wheel arches. While the latter may not appear very aggressive, the apparent size of the alloy wheels suggests they're enormous, maybe measuring between 21 and 23 inches. Along the length of the car, there is silver trim, and the window trim and door handles almost certainly have a chrome finish. The long back overhang and the wide rear pillars are equally noticeable. The Toyota Century SUV's rear appears to be very plain and devoid of any extravagant design features, according to renderings. The monotony is somewhat offset, though, by the windscreen's sharp rake and a roof-mounted spoiler. Similar to the headlights, the taillights are rectangular in design and appear to have a strip of chrome around the outside borders. A narrow LED light bar appears to be there when you examine the liftgate more closely. With a silver garnish at the bottom, the rear bumper is just as flat as the front one. In the meantime, what appear to be the first spy images of a Century SUV test mule covered in camouflage have been published by the Japanese magazine Mag-X. The Century SUV will measure approximately 5,200 mm, 204.7 inches, in length and 1,950 mm, 76.7 inches, in width, according to the Japanese publication, at the tape. It is said to be 1,750 mm, 68.9 inches, tall and has a 3,000 mm, 118.1 inches, wheelbase. The wheelbase of the Lexus LX is 112.2 inches, for reference. In comparison, the new Sequoia's is 122 inches. Curiously, the latter is even longer, measuring 208.1 inches. However, bear in mind that the numbers for the SUV Century are unofficial. The interior of the Toyota Century SUV is not seen in any renderings. There's a fair likelihood that the cabin would be designed to carry 4 persons in the utmost comfort and ecstasy, though, given that it will likely compete head-to-head with other luxury SUVs of its scale. Since there is no third row to worry about, Toyota can make the most of every square inch of the inside to provide the VIP with a no-compromise experience. Chauffeur-driven and personal use are the two combinations we anticipate. Toyota may prioritize keeping the interior of the next SUV free from excessive visual clutter, similar to how it did with the new Century sedan. The Century has long avoided using leather in favor of a unique breathable cloth, unlike every other contemporary luxury vehicle. The third generation model, however, offers the choice of leather upholstery, along with trim made of finely finished wood and the Century logo. The Century SUV may very well take the same course as well. However, one report also says it is made up of wool. Wool seats may only be found in luxury cars, and the Century sedan is one of them, and we think that's quite nice. Wool is viewed as a traditional material in Japan and is frequently used in high-end apparel, like kimonos, therefore it is appropriate for the Century. Wool is resilient, pleasant to the touch, excellent at insulating, and hypoallergenic, which are all qualities that are worth mentioning. In comparison to many other fabrics, it is also more stain and odor resistant. It is ideal for use on vehicle seats because of this. Now that it is utilized in the sedan and is associated with luxury in Japan, wool will undoubtedly need to find its way into the SUV as a luxurious but also historical touch. The Century SUV's interior will certainly include a lot of sound deadening features because it is the company's flagship model and will make everyone on board feel calm. Given that this SUV is a completely new vehicle, Toyota will certainly give it more amenities that cater to convenience than it did with the sedan. Our wish list for the Century SUV includes adaptive dampers, a powered sunroof, electrically adjustable seats with built-in climate control and massaging features, a multi-zone automatic HVAC system, rear seat entertainment screens, window coverings, and a contemporary infotainment system with smartphone connectivity. Since the SUV will likely come with the most recent version of the Toyota Safety Sense package, which is already available on the Century sedan. The set includes adaptive high beam system, AHS, radar cruise control, pre-collision system, PCS, a 3.5-litre turbocharged V6 gasoline engine and 2 electric motors are combined to produce a total of 354 horsepower in the hybrid version of Lexus full-size luxury vehicle. According to theories on the Automotive Press YouTube channel, Toyota's TNGA-K platform, which also serves as the foundation for the new Crown, would be used to build the SUV. Considering that it is an SUV, it must have all-wheel drive, right? In many cases, higher-riding vehicles do not have all-wheel drive, therefore the answer is both yes and no. All-wheel drive will most likely be standard on the Century SUV because it will be a high-end car. It is nevertheless crucial to stress its significance. All-wheel drive first and foremost results in a safer vehicle. A vehicle has significantly better handling and is more predictable when all four wheels are able to receive power. This ultimately improves safety. Safety isn't the only advantage, of course. Another essential feature of a premium car, an all-wheel drive system in the Century will guarantee that the vehicle can reach its destination in any condition. The last thing you want to do is spend more than $200,000 on a car that won't get you where you need to go in the winter. The Toyota Century SUV is scheduled to be introduced in mid-2023, though that date may move up to the end of 2023, according to the Japanese report. Given that it will be the high-riding variant of one of the model's most beloved automobiles in Japan, we can see how it might actually happen. And sir, did you fall in love with the luxury of this SUV? Let us know your thoughts in the comment box below. And if you've watched up to this point, thank you so much. For more videos about EVs, Toyota, Tesla, Ford, and the most recent auto news, please consider subscribing to Tech Addicts.